Alright, so now that our amaranth is nice and cooked, I have it right here. It still looks like very few grains, but it's a dark brown color because of the smoked paprika, and it smells really good too. So what we want to do next is start our black bean patties. This is one just, I think 15 and a half ounce can of black beans. I put it right into a glass bowl. And what you want to add to it is 2 teaspoons of olive oil. It gives you those healthy fats. Next, what you want to add is, you can choose to add chopped up green chili peppers, but I did not add them because I'm not too fond of the flavor that they give. So what I am adding now is a half teaspoon of garlic powder, salt, smoked paprika, cumin, chipotle pepper powder, and dried parsley. So I'm adding that right to the bean mixture as well. And next what I want to add is the amaranth. So amaranth is going right into the bowl as well. And the amaranth is really, really small. I'm going to grab a spoon quick. The amaranth is really small, so you may have trouble getting it all out. I'm just going to try to get as much of it as I can. Those are my dogs. Alright, now that that's in there, you're going to give everything a really good mix. So mixing. This isn't, when I'm just mixing, I'm not quite mashing it all together yet. I want to make sure that I'm getting all of the spices evenly distributed. Oh, and you know what? I completely forgot to add, you're using one half of a red pepper. You need to add that in there at this time as well. So giving that a really good mix. Now that it's nice and mixed, you can mash a little bit. I don't like to mash completely because I like the texture still of having those black beans intact. Your red pepper will also give you a really nice texture as well. And amaranth is kind of hard to describe if you've never had it. It's almost grainy, but not in a bad way. If you don't have amaranth and you can't find amaranth locally, if you're in England, I've never seen amaranth in England. I'm sure you can find it, but I never really looked, and I had never seen it that I'm remembering. You can also use barley pearls. That's just another small grain, or quinoa as well. Those are all great substitutes. And I promise I'm not over mashing these. I should just be using a fork instead of a spoon. So it's hard to mash with a spoon instead of a fork. If you want to keep these patties not burger free, if you want to keep these patties gluten-free, you can use rice flour instead of regular flour. I'm just using an unbleached whole grain flour. Alright, just a couple more mashes. Alright, there we go. I'm using just plain old flour, like I said. You're going to add it now, and what this does is simply give the patties texture so that we can mold them into nice patties. It also makes the mixture much less sticky. So if we would have just gone ahead and made patties without the flour, it would have been a little bit of a mess. Alright, next what you want to do is you're going to, if you have parchment paper on hand, you can use that. If you don't, you can just mix with your hands. So my mixture is pretty textured. I'm just going to walk around to show you. Still has a lot of texture in there. Now what you're going to do is you're going to form it into patties. This will give you about 6 patties, depending on how big you make them. So you're just going to form into neat little patties like this. Very simple, very easy. You're going to form all of them into patties. And then when you're done, you're putting them in the oven. You're baking them at 350 degrees for about 25 minutes. You can choose to top these with onions, lettuce, tomato, anything that you'd put on a normal burger. And we're also making a roasted red pepper sauce. So what's in this sauce is a 1/4 cup of roasted red pepper. We just get the glass jars. I haven't mastered roasting them myself. You're also adding a 1/2 cup of coconut milk. So we just buy full fat coconut milk from the store. You can also use a cashew cream sauce that has been thinned down. If you make extra cashew cream sauce for other dishes, you can always you can add a 1/2 cup of that as well, or instead, I'm sorry. You're also using a 1/4 cup or a 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. I put just 1 regular piece of garlic in there, and I also put about a 1/2 of a jalapeno in there, just to give it some heat. We like spicy things in this house. And you can also choose to add a dash of hot sauce or a dash of chipotle sauce. You know, however hot you want to make it, you can. I'm going to now take this and stick it on our magic bullet. If you don't have one of these, I really recommend you get one. I love our magic bullet. I use it all the time for everything from smoothies to making popsicles and yogurt. So you're just going to stick this on for about 10 seconds. And it ground everything nice. It is pure liquid now. This red will stain because of the red pepper, so just be careful. Know that it's like spaghetti sauce and it's hard to get out. And that's it. That's